Now, Count on 2, live and local in the Lowcountry. This is News 2 at 6.
There are many things that we do not know yet, that we are still investigating, but there's one thing that we know, and that is that Heidi Todd is missing.
The frantic search continues for a missing 4-year-old girl who was taken from her home.
We will tell you what led to that child's disappearance and the person police are trying to find right now. Good evening, I'm Carolyn Murray.
And I'm Brendan Clark. A $20,000 reward is now being offered for the safe return of missing 4-year-old Heidi Todd.
Heidi was reported missing just before 6 o'clock last night from her home on Sweet Leaf Lane on Johns Island. Right now, Charleston police, along with the FBI, are working to bring that child home safely. We have team coverage of the search for Heidi Todd. News 2 Sophia Arizosa, as well as Libba Holland, are both live on Johns Island right now.
Yeah, let's talk with Sophia first. Walk us through the last 24 hours, Sophia.
Brendan, Carolyn, I want you to take a look at this scene behind me. This building you see is serving as the command post for this investigation as several agencies work together to try and piece together the limited information that they have. Now, this afternoon, Charleston police did name a person of interest. I want you to take a good look at this man. They say he has a lightning bolt tattoo on one side of his face and a flame tattoo on the other, and they do believe he has information as to what happened yesterday. Right now, we know that 4-year-old Heidi Todd went missing around this time yesterday from her home here on Sweet Leaf Lane. We are told an unwanted man entered her home and brutally beat her mother. There were 2 other children home at the time of this incident. Today, 24 hours later, there are still helicopters overhead and dive teams in the surrounding lakes as they try to identify a suspect.
She gave us limited information. And as a result of the limited information, that's why we have a unified response from the different agencies. As you can see, it's very unusual. You have water, you have air, you have a lot of evidence that need to be processed at that particular time.
Any information that you have, you are asked to call the 24-hour tip line. The FBI, along with an anonymous donor, is offering $20,000 reward for any information that will help bring 4-year-old Heidi Todd home. Reporting live on Johns Island, Sophia Arizosa, Count on 2.
And our team coverage continues tonight on Johns Island with News 2's Libba Holland.
Yeah, Libba, you've spent many hours in that community today. Certainly everyone coming together, all hopeful for a positive outcome to this situation. What are neighbors saying to you?
Well, Carolyn, neighbors are certainly disturbed by this incident. I'm standing right here in front of the Todd household where Heidi was last seen, and neighbors have nothing but great things to say about the Todd family. Now, this is something that many neighbors around here have really never been a part of before. Many were out watching the search crews today as they've been out here all day combing the lake and the helicopters flying through the air, as well as policemen going door to door interviewing neighbors. And it's obvious that neighbors are willing to give as much information as possible that might help bring Heidi Todd home. Now, what I've learned from talking with neighbors today is that Heidi is one of 5 children in the Todd family. Neighbors say that the Todds are a very friendly family, and they recently moved here from Alaska. I spoke with a neighbor who lives across the street from the Todd family that says that she smiles every morning when she hears all the kids running around playing outside.
As a neighbor over here, I've always told them if they need anything, please call me. So only thing I can say is everybody just pray, and pray for safety, that that child will be found safe and sound and back to her family.
And that sentiment is certainly reflected across this community as many people are praying very hard for the safe return of Heidi, as well as Mayor John Tecklenburg. He says just what neighbors can do now is keep their eyes open and deliver any information they can about where that person of interest or where Heidi Todd might be. We'll keep you covered here all night long. Live on Johns Island, Libba Holland, Count on 2.
Thank you, Libba. Happening right now, family, friends, and people throughout the country are gathering to honor Black Lives Matter movement leader Malia de Baja. After being fatally shot last Tuesday in New Orleans, his wake is being held at the Charity Missionary Baptist Church. Now, this is surveillance video provided by the Associated Press of Baja's final minutes. He is limping and dropping his bike, then stumbling off in New Orleans. Baja was later pronounced dead at a local hospital. Community leaders say no one can take his place.
Nobody's outspoken like he was, so I don't see anybody taking that role right now. Not at all.
Baja's wake will take place until 8 o'clock this evening. His funeral arrangements are set for tomorrow at noon at the Royal Missionary Baptist Church.
The Storm Team 2 Olympic Forecast. Brought to you by Cletus Law Firm and your local Honda dealers.
Well, the big news in Weather Olympics has been those winds. They've been canceling a lot of activities because of the winds, and it doesn't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon. We have a high pressure off to the east and a low pressure off to the west, and that's not only creating those winds, but definitely some cool temperatures and clear conditions. So there's some good news there. No weather worries to talk about over the next couple days. You can see, taking a look at your Thursday forecast, that seems to have disappeared, but I can tell you temperatures will stay in the 20s and 30s all day long. And it doesn't look like a big warm-up's coming anytime soon. Carolyn?
Ariel, thank you. Changes are coming to how firefighters are paid. News 2's Dorchester County reporter Stetson Miller reports on how the new system will actually benefit these first responders.
The fight to end littering and keep Berkeley County clean. News 2's Berkeley County reporter Raymond Owens has more on this initiative.
Sad news to share with you tonight, and it will hit especially hard for those affected by breast cancer. A man who stood out in a sea of pink because of his bravery and because he was also fighting the disease has passed away. We are told by family and friends that our good friend Dennis Smalls passed away this morning. Dennis was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2009. We appreciate his friendship to the breast cancer organizations locally and this station, and certainly I appreciated his personal friendship with me. He will be missed.
Next on News 2.
A mistake made by her phone company led to a $1,000 bill.
In tonight's Call Colette report, we investigate what led to the billing error and tell you what you can do if you need a satisfactory solution.
And a reminder about this case. It is one that we are watching very closely. This is a person of interest described in the case of a missing 4-year-old, Heidi Todd. If you recognize the person you see here, please call the 24-hour tip line. That number is 843-619-6123. Again, 843-619-6123.